Hyunwoo, do you know today's topic?
Today's topic, I know, it's about handing things over with one hand versus two hands, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So what happens if you don't use both hands when giving or receiving something in Korea?
So if you don't use both your hands, it's not automatically always considered as absolutely rude. It's okay. It's more on the side of being or seeming a little careless, I guess. So don't worry too much, but it's always better and more polite to use both your hands to hand something over to at least somebody older than you or higher than you.
For even very small, light things, you have to use both hands.
Yeah, I mean, it's better to do it that way. Like for example, I have this coffee coupon, and if I have somebody who's older than me, a professor, like, somebody higher in social status than me, I would use both my hands to hand this over. And yeah, see, I'm doing this because I'm trying to support my other hand with even my pinky, because that's a gesture that I'm trying to show. I'm trying to use both hands, but I have a mic in my hand, so like that.
Do you also have to use two hands when giving or receiving things from staff at restaurants or stores?
I personally try to, unless I can't. I absolutely can't. So I think it's better or safer to do it that way. For example, if you're paying with your credit card, I sometimes just give it like that, but at least I try to have a smile on my face to show that my intentions are good. I'm trying to be polite, but I just can't use my other hand, so like that. So I often find myself doing that, kind of putting my elbows together.
Round shoulders?
Yeah, round shoulder syndrome when you're giving things with one hand, like that. Yeah, let's call it the Korean polite round shoulders. I've never noticed, but I just, realized now.
At a clothing shop, they wrap it up for you and give it to you,
Yeah.
right? So when you receive it back, it's still
Right. So it's always a matter of, a better choice, a safer choice, not like the right thing to do. So yeah, try to use both hands if you can. Why not? It's not too much more trouble.
if the person is far away and you have to toss something to them, do you still need to use two hands somehow?
So I am more open-minded about this one because if somebody 5 years older than me were to tell me, hey, throw that to me, like you're like 10 meters away, don't even bother walking up to me and handing it to me, throw it. I will throw it personally. But I've had so many instances where a younger person is standing over there, like there's a basketball or something. I say, throw it. And then they never do. I've almost never had a situation where that younger person actually threw something at me. They would actually, drop everything and then walk all the way to me. And I would say, why didn't you throw it to me? It would have been easier. But then in the back of my Korean head, I actually appreciate that gesture. So
if they really threw it to you, would you think,
I wouldn't mind or hate it. I would just notice it. Oh, he's actually more open-minded than the average Korean person that I know, as a younger person than me.
Oh, okay. So are there any phrases Koreans usually say while handing something with two hands?
You can say 여기요, 여기요,
여기요.
여기요, 여기요, or 여기 있습니다. But if I say 여기요 or 여기 있습니다, like this, kind of like a learner practicing a sentence or like a service person saying it out loud, it sounds a little bit unnatural. So I often just find myself saying it in a whisper. 여기요, 여기요.
Okay, so we've got some questions from the comments on our channel. Could you read them and answer?
Sure. Okay, I noticed that you just gave it to me in one hand because you're holding a camera.
So it's fine, right?
It's fine. It's completely understandable. So the question is, it might be fun to explain the situations when you support the forearm or wrist of the offering hand with the other hand. Yeah, so this is very common. You want to give this phone to another person, but obviously you have this other hand busy. So what you need to do or want to do is hand over something with one hand, but then also somehow show that you are even at least trying to use the other hand. Like your mic can't move too far away from your mouth, but then you're trying. So you have this weird posture momentarily when you're doing this. So people do that, like that. Yeah, you can see the intention, so that's fine. We do the same here. Two hands always better. If not, at least your right hand, but never with your left hand. Okay, this is not a thing in Korea, in my opinion. it's completely fine to give something to another person with your left hand. Is this still done when an elder is handing something to somebody quite younger? It depends on you. If you want to be seen as a very polite older person, you can still be recommended to use both your hands. Two hands are always appreciated. They also use two hands for shaking hands. Okay, yes. So we're shaking hands, but my left hand is busy, but I'm trying to kind of do that. It's the same situation with objects. Do foreigners get judged if they don't use both hands in Korea? And do Korean Gen Z folks still stick to the two hands rule hardcore? I would say even younger people still use this rule, follow this rule. And do foreigners get judged? No, absolutely not. Even if you don't know this rule and if you just hand something over with your one hand, they will say, oh, this person might not be used to Korean culture, that's why, and they will forget about it.
But it's a good thing to know and
Yeah.
follow the rule.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they will notice it for sure.
You have two kids, right?
Mhm.
How old are they?
They are 11 and 8.
Did you have to teach them or they kind of absorb?
Um, When, for example, they are 3 years old, 4 years old, they will not know this habit, right? And then they will see their parents and older siblings or teachers handing things over, and people kind of thinking that it's more polite. They naturally absorb this habit of using both hands. So yeah, children do that all the time.
끝내기 전에 도서 할인 진행 중이고 궁금한 거 있으면 댓글로 알려달라고 말씀해 주세요.
Thank you so much for watching. And by the way, we're having a book sale going on right now, so please check the description for all the information. And if you have further questions about Korean culture, Korean language, please do let us know in the comments. Thank you. See you in the next one. Bye.